Hey everyone, Agent of Kate Sith here. Today I would like to go over the Kaja Sword for Warrior. If you saw my decimation video, you know how strong dual wield is for Warrior at the moment. But one thing that was really bugging me was that decimation gains almost nothing from Warcry. So I thought I'd remedy this by trying out the Kaja Sword during Mighty Strikes and Warcry. All I can say is wow. The results I saw were on par with Mighty Strikes resolution. Before I show the sword in action, let's go over the sets I was using. For melee, I'm using this set. It's an update of what I should have been using in my axe video. You want these hands with dual wield augmented on them, plus suppy. That'll give you 11% dual wield, which is what you need to cap overall haste or delay when sub ninja. There is the option of using the Barbarity +1 axe for Mighty Strikes down for Savage Blade. I did not have that, so I used this instead. I really like starting fights out with a bunch of TP. And I feel like the weapon skill damage and the critical hit damage for Mighty Strikes is also very good. But really nothing too different than standard TP sets. Let's move on to Savage Blade without Mighty Strikes. So this would be what you want to use when you just have Warcry up. You're basically focusing a lot on weapon skill damage. The helm, the body, augmented hands, augmented Odyssean, Ambu +2 feet have it. The cape is weapon skill damage +10%, obviously. And then the dual wheel or the double attack belt with the Warbead +2 necklace, because Savage Blade does not scale with FTP, but it does scale damage with TP, so you want to use Moonjade. And then lastly, let's go over the Mighty Strike set, which has a focus heavy on critical hit damage and strength. So this will be really good. The sword. I swapped to Yachila +1 for the critical hit damage. And yeah, I started using this instead. If you have a perfect augmented Valorous, you can use that instead. But it needs to have like 15 strength, high accuracy, high attack, and critical hit damage 4 or 5, which is just, a lot of people don't have that, so it's easier to just use this. And once this is +3, it'll be the best in slot anyways. Okay, so let's move on to the demonstration. First off, we have Word of Courage. This ended up not being the greatest demonstration for War DPS because it took me so long to engage and get ready while I engaged super early on the core and the bard. But I do catch up. But by the time I get Mighty Strikes off, I only get one weapon skill off with Mighty Strikes before it puts bracelets up. So my average would not be as high as it normally would be. Plus, I think I get stunned for 10 full seconds in the middle. But it is a great showcase to show how powerful the Kaja Sword is in general for both Warrior and for Corsair. Because at the end, you'll see the Core does extremely well compared to the Warrior. Even though it wasn't exactly super fair in the Warrior's favor. It's like right here, I get stunned. But yeah, Word of Courage now absolutely melts. This is $5. I only used 5 songs. I only used the buffs that were available to me. No outside buffing or anything. I did use one trust, which was Yagnis. He should be hasting me here, actually. But I guess he just got... There it is. There's the haste. But yeah, as you guys can see, the build is super strong. At one point, I think Warcry wears off, and instead of using a Super Revitalizer, I swap to back to the Axe set. This is what I envision what I will be doing in the future. I only plan on using Savage Blade when Warcry's up, either with Mighty Strikes or when Warcry is just up alone. and then I will just mid-fight or between fights swap back to the axe set and use it. Next up, we have the three Rice and Jima tier 3 NMs, Maju, Yakshi, and Neek. I thought this would be a good example of the damage output Might Strikes can do on some of the tougher mobs in the game. I think I average around 70k in all. This time I turned my core and my Bard Mule just so I could only showcase the damage that Savage could do. So obviously I'm not skill chaining here, just weapon skilling it down. And yeah, during the decimation, I think decimation Mighty Strikes averaged 50 to 60k maybe. So I'm definitely seeing a big increase in damage using the Savage Blade set. So if you want to take Warrior to the maximum, and you're using the Axe set, I would also highly recommend you get a Sword set too, to use during Warcry and Mighty Strikes, and then swap back to the Axe build once it's down. And as you can see here, Yakshi, which is typically almost never melee burned, I'm going to melee burn it with just Mighty Strikes and only the DPS of the war. The problem with Yakshi though is that it can use Root of the Problem, which will steal your buffs and give you massive stat down. You can still kill through it, but it often skews the weapon skill damage numbers. See, like right there, it used Impact, which is going to hurt my weapon skill numbers, and then it uses Root of the Problem here, which is going to further tank my weapon skill damage. So if it wasn't for it using Impact and Root of the Problem, I probably would have maintained above 70k weapon skill average using this, which is probably on par with Resolution. Last time I used Resolution, I don't remember it doing this much during Mighty Strikes. I feel like it would be very similar damage. Although Mighty Strikes Resolution on its own with maximum buffs is probably still the best option, but if you're using the Axe build, you can't just swap to Mighty Strikes Resolution because you'll be sub ninja and you won't have Hasso. So if you're using the Axe build, this is definitely the best Mighty Strike option available at the moment, is using Savage Blade with Warcry up. I think as you can see right there, I just did an 85k Mighty Strike Savage Blade. The highest I've ever seen is 90k, I believe. So the damage potential is definitely high, especially if you get a bunch of multi-attacks. That does it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post below or catch me live on Twitch, where I'm always willing to help out and answer any questions you guys might have. If you liked the video, please remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Have a great day. See you guys again next time.